we often hear like very coherent views from people who are maybe activists and have been disabled for a very long time, speaking very coherently. But I wanted to share very much from what it's like for me as somebody that's still kind of coming to terms with a disabled identity, and how my thoughts are evolving, and how my own acceptance and now pride as a disabled person is evolving, if that makes sense. Hey folks, it's Finn. Welcome back, lovely people. Thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my videos today and choosing to spend time with me. And if you're tuning in for the very first time, then a massive welcome to the Finn fam, and thank you very much for choosing to check out one of my videos. Captain Pip is looking very cute. He's chosen this end of the sofa though, so all you can see is just a slight bit of fur. He might move in a bit, but actually I hope not, because he's nice and quiet. So I've just literally thrown myself together to make a video, so I'm looking a little bit bedraggled. I've just noticed that there's tea on my t-shirt. I've got like what Chris calls my unicorn eyebrow, because I haven't plucked them, so I've got like a grey eyebrow. My hair's a bit all over the place. And if I hadn't pointed these things out, you wouldn't have noticed, but there we go. I'm all about the magical honesty, but never mind. So today's video is, well, it's about disability pride, and it's about my thoughts on how I feel as a disabled person about pride. My ongoing thoughts as a very relatively newly disabled person, because this month, July, is Disability Pride Month, and we're now at the 24th of July, and I've been thinking about making this since the very beginning of July, and I've had lots of thoughts, and I've yet to make this video, and it's got to the end of the month, and I've just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this. Hence I've just thrown this, I've got my pyjama bottoms on and just thrown this t-shirt on and just thrown myself together, because I thought, Finn, just make this, because I am all about sharing thoughts as they happen with me, and they're not necessarily really formed ideas. I like to share very honestly about how I'm making sense of things as I travel, and I'm very much still travelling this chronic illness journey and making sense and coming to accept myself as a disabled person. So I want to share how that's looking for me, and hearing about disabled pride has brought up a lot of thoughts for me. Now I need to get comfortable. Thanks. Just throw my pen off. Shall I move that for you so you've got more room? Okay, cool. So, am I proud as a disabled person? This is a tricky one, this. It's a really, really tricky one. I've shared a few videos recently about how this year is really the year where I've been settling in to accepting myself as a chronically ill person, and accepting of where I am in having to let go of work, and just not be able to work, not be able to do much, having my life so drastically change, letting go of all the things I imagined myself doing in the future, letting go of who I thought I was and who I thought was going to be, all of that grief. There's a whole level of acceptance happening this year. I'm really grateful that I finally started to let happen, which is great. But am I proud? Not sure. So I've been reflecting on this a lot, and I guess the reason I've been struggling to say I'm proud is because for a long time the word pride with me came alongside achievement. You know, you feel proud when you achieve something, and this is also something I've been working on letting go of in terms of being chronically ill. Now, I've gone on and on about this book, and I keep going on about it, and the reason I go on about it is because it's an amazing book that shifted my whole thinking, and that's Devon Price, Laziness Does Not Exist. because I've had a really stark realization of just how much we all do this in our culture. We attach our level of worth to how much we do. You know, our output equals our worth, and that's absolute rubbish. You know, we have intrinsic worth regardless, despite of how much we do. You know, it doesn't matter. We don't have to do anything. We just have worth by existing. And I'm really appreciative and realize this now, but it's taken being ill to realize this, you know. But there's obviously still a little bit of me that thinks I have to do things to be proud of. And if I look back at my journey, I can see this with my recovery from addiction and my gender transition, that I can think back and think, you know, yes, I was a recovering addict, but look, I went and I did a degree and I wrote a book and I did all these successful things. So therefore, you know, I might have been a recovering addict, but I got a degree and I wrote a book, you know, so I can be proud of being a recovering addict because at least I went on to do those things. Do you see what I mean? So I attach some worth to it. And I guess the same thing is happening with me with disability pride. It's like, well, what have I got to be proud of because I'm just disabled and I don't contribute anything? You know, I've gone through a lot of this, feeling like a burden and so forth. And there's a lot of this which I now recognise as inspiration porn, where you see a lot of this kind of thing going on where people are sharing stuff about disabled people. Look at this disabled person who, despite being disabled, can still climb mountains. Despite being disabled, has done this, that, and the other, you know. And I guess that feeds into my subconscious somewhere, that I realise that with my conditions, I can't do any of that. All I can simply do is get up and do the best I can to get through a day without going outside my energy envelope and going into post-exertional malaise. And most days, if you've seen my recent video where I showed an example of my day, is an incredibly slow, measured day doing next to nothing in order to conserve my energy. You know, I can't climb mountains. I can't even do like a small walk around the block. I can just about go around the block on my wheelchair without exhausting myself, you know. And it's just got me thinking about all of this and, you know, what I am proud of. And if I look at actually what I'm really proud of myself, because I am proud of myself, I'm proud of the fact that I've been through so much in my life. You know, for one reason or another, I don't know why, I've just had one of those lives where it's been one thing after another. You know, I've had a lot to overcome. I'm FinnTheInfinncible. I chose that name because despite everything, I have just got back up and got back up and got back up and kept on going. And I'm really, really proud of that. And that's not about achievement, that's about me. That despite anything and everything that's happened, I'm like, right, how can I turn this around? How can I just get back up and keep on going? And that's what I've done. You know, and I'm really, really proud of that. I'm just proud of the person I am. I'm proud that it hasn't turned me into a really negative, resentful person, that it hasn't made me bitter and angry. I'm really proud to be me. I'm really proud, you know, that I have this resilience and this appreciation for life, that, you know, things can knock me down and I can go, okay, well, you know, I can still see the positives in life. That's what I'm really, really proud of. And this is what's got me thinking, that I am just proud to be me. And actually, this is what disability pride is about, isn't it? This is what it really is about. It's about being proud to be exactly who we are and accepted for who we are, regardless or in spite of, despite of whatever we do or don't achieve. And that is exactly what it should all be about. It should be about disabled people being accepted in this world. It doesn't matter if they, like me, can't do anything amazing, because the amazing thing is actually getting up every single day and carrying on in a world that is still largely really discriminatory, still largely not set up for disabled people. I mean, suddenly get yourself in a wheelchair and then try and access this world. It's really, really hard. It's really, really hard to then suddenly have all of these views aimed at you, be treated by people differently. All of these things you've got to deal with on a daily basis. That's the hard stuff to deal with, you know? And if you can get up and do that every day, as well as dealing with the conditions you've got, that's the incredible thing to do. And that's a reason to be proud of yourself. And so for that reason, I am absolutely proud of myself, you know? And I do have pride as a disabled person. Absolutely I do. I think it's just been really hard for me to kind of claim it and say it, because I do just feel quite young in my kind of claiming the word disability for myself. It's only been a few years. I still feel quite young as a person who speaks openly about disability. And as I say, it just feels, I think I spoke about this a lot, that, you know, I'm still very much overcoming my own ableism. It took me a long time to start using a scooter first and then a wheelchair, because of my own internalized ableism around these things. You know, was I disabled enough? You know, all of these different things. It's taken a long time, but absolutely, you know, I'm proud, and I'm really glad that I'm able to reflect on these things and think about them and in this way, because yeah, I mean, sod the walking up mountains and going for runs and overcoming my disability in that way, just living in this world as a disabled person is something to be incredibly proud of. And you know, if I look back and on the same kind of thing going through as a recovering addict and a trans person, you know, just because I did the same thing then. I thought I had to be more than a recovering addict and be more than just a trans person, just to be good enough, but just to live in this world as somebody in a minority group is hard enough, you know. You don't then have to add an extra layer and like prove yourself, but we're made to feel like we do in order to feel accepted. You know, it's like when you're a trans person, in order to be accepted, you have to be a trans person who looks cis. You know, in order to be a disabled person, in order to be accepted, you've got to be an exceptional disabled person who does like Olympic medals. No, you don't. You just have to be a regular human being who just happens to have a disability. And thank you very much, but I just want to be accepted like by the next person, accepted like everyone else. Just help me by making this world accessible, because actually it's you that's making my life more difficult by not putting ramps in, by having your outdated ableist views. So change you. I don't need to change, you do, you know. So sorry, this has turned into a rant, but yeah, I hope this has made sense. I just wanted to share these thoughts before this month ends, because I didn't want to say nothing, because I think although this might have been a bit of a rant and a ramble, I didn't want to say nothing, because I think we often hear like very coherent views from people who are maybe activists and have been disabled for a very long time, speaking very coherently. But I wanted to share very much from what it's like for me as somebody that's still kind of coming to terms with a disabled identity, and how my thoughts are evolving, and how my own acceptance and now pride as a disabled person is evolving, if that makes sense. And maybe next year I'll be more coherent about disabled pride. But long and short of it is, I am absolutely proud to be me. I'm proud to be a recovered alcoholic, a recovered alcoholic in recovery, still 13 years sober, a transgender man, and a person who has a long-term chronic illness is disabled and uses an electric wheelchair, which gives me incredible freedom. And to think that only a couple of years ago I was scared to sit my bum in that wheelchair for wondering what people would think. And now, you know, when people message me and say they're having the same worries, I just absolutely love telling people, for goodness sake, it's just an aid to get you out and about. You stick glasses on when you can't see. When you can't get out and about, stick your bum in a wheelchair and use it, and stop what other people think, you know. It's the world that's got a problem, not us. So, yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Are you somebody else who's newly, chronically, long-term sick and disabled and is having the same kind of thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anybody who's got any thoughts on this that's making more sense to me, pop a comment below. And before I sign off, I just want to say, because I haven't done this for a while, I want to give a couple of shout outs to our Friends of Finn members, because we've got a few new members, a few re-signed up members, and I've also got some Ko-fi shout outs as well. So firstly, I want to give a massive shout out to Natalia Explores, who's recently signed up as a full Friends of Finn member and left a really lovely comment. So I want to give you and your partner a big shout out. Truman's mum has just upgraded to a full Friends of Finn member, so thank you very much for that. Galian has just rejoined us, thank you. And I always say, anyone who signs up for membership, it's monthly membership. You're always, I know cost of living crisis, you're always free to unsubscribe and subscribe again later. There's never any judgment for me. I understand what it's like for money. You're always welcome back in the fold, and it's never awkward. So I'm always really glad to see people come back, and that's lovely. Any full Friends of Finn members, if you ever have any problem finding your members' perks, please let me know. I hate to think that people sign up and can't find them. If you go to my main YouTube homepage, on the very, very top bar where it says like videos, blah, 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 on the very end one, it will say membership. And if you click on that, you'll be able to find all of the list of all of your perks. And on there as well, you'll find the members only tab. And you should find everything you need there, including your members only videos playlist, where you'll find a huge playlist of loads of members only videos. I don't load up as many as I used to because I'm struggling at the moment. I'm going to try and upload some more, but there's loads there already. If you struggle to find anything, please send me a message. Don't ever just struggle on and not be able to find anything. Please send me a message. And I also have 2 thank yous to Ko-fi people. My lovely friend Natasha, who visited me last week, has also given me a Ko-fi. You didn't have to do that. That's really lovely. Thank you so much. And Jamie, who's also sent me a lovely message to say he's proud of me. Thank you very much. That's really kind. Now, anybody on Ko-fi who sends me a one-off message, a one-off donation, you also have access to some exclusive videos as well, which you can access on my Ko-fi page, and you have 30 days when you do a one-off Ko-fi to access those videos. So that's on my Ko-fi page, and you can find them on the posts page, and you get 30 days of access to those. Full membership, you get to access everything for as long as you want. When you do a one-off donation, you get 30 days to access it. Hope that made sense. That was just yeah. So a big shout out to everybody and anyone who supports me on Ko-fi and on YouTube. It's very, 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 very much appreciated on 2 levels, because it helps me to make more videos, and it also lets me know how much you appreciate my content, which just means the world, really. I'm going to have to pan down this camera in a minute and show you this poodle who's flat on his back with his legs in his air. It's really cute. Look at him. Are you comfy, babe? Are you comfy? You certainly look comfy. You going to say bye to everybody? Say thank you for watching. I have slept through this entire video. Bless his little cotton fluffy socks. But yeah, any comments, please do leave me a message below. Sorry if this is a bit ranty and random today, but I just wanted to share it while it was there. But yeah, I will upload a video next week. We are away camping next week, so it's going to be a week gap. But then you know me, it's often more than a week gap because Fred and all that. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Love you loads. Catch you soon. Bye.